It's really fast and two documents me and him. I mean, the biggest thing for me. So
All right, we're going live on the air.
that's okay. I just don't think
You're listening to WKDW Radio 97.5 and KDWRadio.com, broadcasting from the Bishop West Real Estate Mobile Tower right here in beautiful Northport, Florida. I've got two extremely special guests in the house. One you'll recognize, hopefully, and the other is a new person. So I'm going to start with Marilyn. Marilyn, would you go ahead and introduce yourself real quick?
Hi, my name is Marilyn Crusoe. I am an SD advocate here at C.A.R.E.
And your good partner, Brooke. How are you doing, Brooke?
I'm great. My name is Brooke Kraszewski, and I am an advocate for C.A.R.E. as a rape prevention educator.
And what do you do at C.A.R.E. exactly?
So I have been at C.A.R.E. for about 4 years, and I started off as a domestic violence hotline advocate. And up until previously, I am a rape prevention educator, and I go into the community and I raise awareness against prevention of rape.
Oh, nice. So how long have you been with C.A.R.E.?
About 4 years.
Wow. So were you always in our area, our territory?
No, I am from Wisconsin. I moved down here right before I received this position, and so about 4 years I've been here in Punta Gorda.
So you're a Badger. Is that what you're telling me?
Oh yeah, no, I'm a Packers fan.
All right, that's all right. Packers. Did they win Sunday or not?
Yes.
I know that he was looking for a win. That's one thing for sure.
Especially against the Bears.
Yeah, that's right. The interception to end the game, right?
Yep.
By Chicago. So you're with C.A.R.E. now. You came down from Wisconsin. You're a little warmer now than you were 4 years ago.
Yeah, a little too warm for my liking.
Well, how's it been working here compared to Wisconsin?
A little bit different, but about the same. I mean, everything is a little bit more cheaper in that area up there, so pay raises aren't as frequent. It's actually a lot nicer working down in Florida.
And the Charlotte area, what have you felt with the Charlotte area being part of C.A.R.E.?
So I noticed with, the Charlotte County area, the community is very close. There are a lot of fundraisers going on. There are a lot of public events going on for everyone to participate in and get to know each other a little bit better. I also do the fundraiser 8 Miles, 8 Bars. So,
okay.
Yeah, so that's how I got started here at C.A.R.E. And so it's practically just a bunch of women getting together and walking 8 miles and having a good time with each other. But I've liked it a lot working for C.A.R.E. and their participation out in the community.
So with everything that's going on, I know that you're doing some fundraisers now.
Yes.
What's the one that's happening tonight, and why is it happening tonight?
So it is Party for a Cause, and I just have a little bit of details in a little bit, but Marilyn.
It's put on by our C.A.R.E. Auxiliary, which is a group of people who do events for us to fundraise directly for us. And so tonight from 5:30 to 9 at River City Grill right here in Punta Gorda, there is going to be this Party with a Cause. And it's a $30 ticket. You can purchase them at the door tonight, again, between 5:30 and 9. Doug Amaral, who is I believe he's the owner, manager, not really sure on that, but he generously donates all of the food so that that cost doesn't have to come out of the proceeds for this event. And it's last year I heard it was very well attended. For the $30, there's food, there is music, and then there is also a basket bid that there's a lot of great baskets. I saw a few leave care today that are really neat looking that I'd like to bid on, and they can bid on that as well. And there is a cash bar.
And what's the money going towards?
Well, the events that we're talking about today, this one and a few other ones, is the funds directly go towards survivor services in Charlotte County. And I think we spoke about this last time, how the two main types of funding for our CARE are through grants and then through fundraising and direct funding. So it's really great because these funds that are raised for this are unrestricted. Whereas when we do get grant money, which is, you know, totally needed for administrative and salaries and things of that nature, it's restricted. It has to be finally accounted for. This event will actually, as I said, go towards the survivor services of Charlotte County. And it could be things like we have survivor in a shelter and they need clothes for their toddler and we don't have that particular size. Or one of our survivors might be moving into a new apartment and they need a bed for one of their children. This is non-discretionary funds that we can use as we see fit, which is really special and really needed.
And, you know, we did talk about this funding issue before, and there's definitely a need for situations like this, correct?
Absolutely.
And this gives you a lot more leverage with funding, because there's, with the other type of funding that you were talking about, that's really specific, isn't it?
Yes. So with a lot of the times, fundraising can help us specifically with certain people or certain causes that we want to work towards to help survivors. Or we do also appreciate, you know, the funds that come from donations a lot, because we do have Christmas coming up and we have survivors and their children come in for Christmas shopping. So we, during this time, encourage people to donate if they would like towards a cause. And we are accepting things like children's gifts, gifts for mothers, and also as well as gift cards for the teenagers.
And those types of things, this time of year, we get a lot of organizations out there with needs. Not to talk about the other organizations, but also to couple you in with that, because not only are we dealing with a community that now has been hit with a hurricane and surrounding neighbors, we're also battling some of the situations with our businesses who have been hit, who might have been a bigger donor for you before, who are having to manage things differently today. So this is where people can actually step up. Maybe they haven't been hit as hard with the hurricane. They can step in, and even the smallest of donations is a good thing, correct?
Yes, anything that anybody donates towards us goes towards a good cause, and we definitely put it to use and appreciate it very much.
And we are aware of our community and, you know, us, our business partners, and not even our business partners, that have been through so much over the last few months with Ian closing, having to move location, and, you know, we do appreciate the community we're in, but as you said, there are always those people out there who feel that they are much more fortunate than others and might have an extra $25 to put towards a gas card to send us, or they might be able to go out and buy a toy. And realistically, you know, around this holiday season, huge thing is the children. You know, yes, we are here for the survivors, and that mainly being females, but there are some males in there who, you know, will need those benefits as well. But, you know, Christmas and Hanukkah, those holidays are about children. And so if there is anyone out there who does feel like they are a little more fortunate, maybe their roof didn't come off during Ian, this is a perfect opportunity to be able to give back and know also that it stays in our community. It's not going someplace else.
And I've got a question for you. It's a little off topic from fundraising, but it kind of goes to the leggings and things that you guys give to a victim. With the hurricane and all of the I don't want to say complete devastation, because we were blessed in many regards here, but with all the devastation that we did have with Ian, how has that process now, where you go to the hospital and you provide the bag full of clothes to a victim, how is that holding up?
So we were really fortunate to have some items still left over from previous donations, because people are very generous. And we provide things like quilts from the Quilt Guild that have been donated towards us. And, we accept donations of clothing for clients, preferably new, just so we can make them feel more comfortable when we do arrive at the hospital and provide them with a care bag.
And the care bag itself, that's one steady piece that you guys do all year long, correct?
Absolutely. Yeah, we are always having hospital response. Unfortunately, there are always assaults and rapes that are happening in our community. And the very least that we can do as advocates is be there, of course, for the survivor. But those bags, those care bags that we bring, with the quilts that are handmade, gorgeous quilts, the Punta Gorda Quilting Guild, shout out to them, unbelievable. And then like donations, just underwear and, and just toiletries that they don't have right now, just at that time when they're in that crisis and we show up, that means the world to them. And yes, that is, 365 days a year that we are there to support the community and the survivors in that way.
And the reason I kind of draw these things together is because you guys are focused on, you're kind of like multitasking year round on trying to find ways to raise money, be creative in doing that. So you really don't have to go to the public and ask for cash donations. You like that, and it does help, but you're really trying to be creative on how to be very inclusive to the community itself, so that they actually gain some knowledge about what you guys do at C.A.R.E, correct?
Yes. So with participating in the community, we don't really go out and try to ask for any donations or cash donations. And we go out and just raise awareness and prevention. And we do have, sometimes events that we go to where we can raise, awareness on just care in general, because we are here in the community and a lot of people don't know about us, but we're here to just support survivors through self-empowerment. And we do offer counseling. We do have support groups, domestic violence and sexual violence support groups. And if they just contact us, we are here for them, a trained advocate on the other end 24/7. So we're always participating in trying to raise awareness on our services that we provide for Charlotte County.
And I'm going to add something in, because it's something that we highlight, and it's something that even in my conversations with people now, because I've been doing this for so long, people will say things to me, and the privacy side is a huge thing. It seems, for a victim or someone who is in that mindset that they're not a victim, but they just want to talk. Can you talk a little bit about the privacy side before we jump into the next fundraiser?
So C.A.R.E is completely free and confidential to survivors. A lot of people do get nervous. You're right. Just practically thinking that somebody is going to find out, someone might know, even if they just speak up a little bit. about their situation and wanting to just get it out there for comfort or emotional support. But we are completely confidential. It does not leave CARE. And we are not a reporting service where, they can call us and tell us confidentially that something happened to them, and we can guarantee our confidentiality rules.
Well, I'm going to slide into the next event, which is the human trafficking side, correct?
Yes. Now, that is not a fundraising event, of course. It's more of an informative event for sure. And we talked about this last time as well, that it is coming up, and you probably can scroll down so we can see the date. See how with it I am here?
Yeah.
When is it?
December or January 12th, 9 a.m. to noon.
So yes. So, we've talked about this before, how it's widespread in the state of Florida, and it can happen to anyone. And we did talk about also before about how, people who are migrant workers who are here, people who have relocated here, everyone likes to relocate to sunny Florida, and people who maybe are have substance use or some mental health concerns. Those are the ones that are really targeted. Also homeless people, homeless youth, and runaways. They can, traffickers can easily identify the vulnerability of that person and try to lure that person into a human trafficking situation. So on January 12th, we are having the half-a-day symposium, which is called Shedding Light on the Darkness. And it is going to be at the Charlotte Harbor Event and Conference Center. If you are an organization also that has relevant information and would like a table, we do have tables available. So if you want to get your, if there are any kind of human services groups out there that would like to have a table, they can call. I believe there is a number if you scroll down a little bit more, John. And there, maybe there isn't, but you can call the 941-639-5499, and that's our main number. And so if anybody would be interested in having a table at the event, that can happen as well. And we are working with local law enforcement as well. We have some speakers that will be coming in. And again, like Brooke said, to just, as well as being a support system for our survivors and as well as supporting our community, we are here to educate. And, education always is everything. If you're educated and you know the signs, or you know the signals, or you know the circumstances, then you can only benefit from that.
And I was at this event I believe it was 2 years ago, because we had COVID year. So I believe it was the year prior to COVID that I was at this event and it was an 8-hour event 2 years ago. You did an all day at Charlotte Convention Center. And it was a really interesting day. I spent the last half of the day there, and I actually went live from the event on air and interviewed people, which was really it was interesting to listen to why they were there and what they were about. And they're we all do things to give back, and a lot of these companies are really committed to standing behind a lot of what you guys do. There is a direct connection to their company, and I hate to say success, but you have to talk about the successful side of things, even when it becomes a negative kind of conversation, with the human trafficking, with the abuse, and everything coupled together. That's such a negative conversation, but it needs to be had, because we are in a situation here in Florida that we're number 6 in the nation. And I'm just trying to get us, and I told you this earlier today, I would like to talk enough to get us to number 7, then number 8, then number 9. I would love to be number 50, because that would show that we had great insight to our people here in the state, and that we're starting to pay attention to what was happening around them. I call them the downlookers. That's the people on their cell phones. They're always looking down at their cell phone. They're never paying attention to what's happening around them. Isn't that one of the reasons why we're susceptible now as a nation to human trafficking?
So with, the human trafficking event, you're right. There are a bunch of people there and companies and organizations that are there that support, the advocacy of human trafficking and raising awareness and education on it. So it's great that everybody can come together, and I like to focus on the positives in a way where, I know it's not a happy situation, it's not a good situation, but you got to remember, just by listening, volunteering, donating to organizations like this, is that we are getting awareness out there. We are doing good for people that are going through hard times and just giving them comfort. And it's also good to learn, as well as being a person who knows somebody that is going through something like this, and being there for them in ways like providing them resources or referrals to places like C.A.R.E, and also being there for emotional support is always number one. Somebody can really benefit from things like that.
And I think also that just to how Brooke was saying, to get the awareness out there and to get people aware of what's going on, and you were saying about like people who are the downlookers, I think, and it is about awareness, and it is about like too often I think in this world, we're looking down at our phones. It's not happening in our neighborhood. Couldn't dare wouldn't dare happen. And I think with this symposium, one of the things and the highlights in a sad way is that we have a survivor there, and that survivor actually tells their story, and that's the most powerful thing, because then a person will walk away and they can't say it's not happening here, and they can't say I don't know anyone who's been affected by it. And when we start to get that out into the community, and those people looking up a little bit more from their cell phones, that helps to make us aware. And kind of on that note is one of Brooke's new duties as well, that she's embracing wonderfully, is to be involved with all the social media. And, she's always trying to come up with all these creative, wonderful ways to get the information out there. And so if people are the downlookers, she's trying to get them to recognize, how can you be a support system for someone, and to get these different activities and functions and events that we're doing out there on social media, and to try to hit those demographics from 15 up to 100. She's just always trying to be creative with those posts, and really get people's attention, because that might be how we have to get the downlookers attention. So she's that's just a great thing, like I said, and that is a way that we can educate those people as well.
We talk about, we've been talking about this for 3 years, and we talk about different types of subject matter here, but the biggest thing I can tell people is, even if you're on your phone, try your hardest just to pay attention to your surroundings and the people around you. You never know what you're going to see, what's going to be asked of you later, if something does happen around you. If you're just enough edgy to do both, look down and scan the territory. You never know what you might see, whether it's somebody getting thrown into a car, which will catch your attention, and maybe it's at an awkward moment, and just that quick glance at a car and make and model, and maybe even a tag later on, and you can, there's just so many things that you can pay attention to, that I think we've, over time, because of technology, we've kind of gotten away from, back in my day, we had to run to a cell phone to put a quarter in. I hate to even talk
That
about
was called a payphone.
Yeah, that was called a payphone. Holy crap! And we used to have a glass door you shut. We could go into all that, and what's crazy now is we actually have technology at the palm of our hand, and we're so busy looking down at it that I think we're less observant now of our surroundings when we are not aware of what's around us. And I think the biggest thing is to wake people up and let them know it could be you. Literally, when you're not paying attention, you have no idea who's pulling up next to you or walking next to you or trying to do something to you prior to. And I think that's the shock and awe of what happens to a lot of people is they look back and they try to figure out, well, I was there. I didn't see anything. Well, what were you doing? You were looking down the whole time. That's why you didn't see anything. So I call them downlookers for a reason. So just take your head up every once in a while. It's not a bad thing to pay attention to what's around you. And you might save a life. Yeah, you never know. And is there anything you guys would like to add on to that?
So actually, you're 100% right. If we would just take a second to maybe educate ourselves on matters like this, we could actually prevent this from happening from somebody. So being mindful about your surroundings when you're out, maybe even walking to your car during the day or at night. Safety planning with somebody that might be in a domestic violence situation, being able to know how to safety plan with them on if something were to happen, how they would get safe. Being mindful about, that this could happen to anybody. And you could be walking down the street and it happened to you. Or if you saw it happening, yes, being aware of your surroundings at all times is great because you could save a life.
And I think also it could be as, I don't want to say simple, but it could be as simple as if you are looking up and you see something heated going on or something, not to put yourself in harm's way, but be like, Brooke, is that you? How you doing? And just that throwing maybe a perpetrator off just a little bit could help someone or could save someone from being a victim of, a sexual assault or sexual violence. And like I said, not to put yourself in harm's way, but just to sometimes distract that person or to draw attention away from whatever the heated situation that might be happening could be just enough to change the circumstances.
And, we talk about the little things, and the little things can be a major thing. Imagine seeing somebody thrown, or a young kid, or a woman being thrown in the back of a car or a van, and they drive away. That's critical information, and you may think, and I've actually had this conversation, open dialogue with people, and they're like, "Well, I wouldn't pick up the phone and call the police if I saw something like that." And I'm like, "Well, think about that for a minute. The worst thing you're going to do is have somebody go get a safety check. The best thing you're going to do is, hey, nobody throws somebody in the back of a van or throws them in the back of a car anymore, unless there's something going on. There's so many things that happen so quickly that if you're not paying attention to your surroundings, you may be that lifeline that starts that first initial call that informed the police department that, hey, something's happening, and here's the car, here's the license plate. You might want to check out who belongs to this and go check them out and make sure it's okay. That's the worst thing that's going to happen. And I'll bet money that your organization and the police department would rather have a phone call like that than not a phone call at all.
Exactly. And I think of that, as I've told you before, I was a teacher, and we would always say, like, instead of being a bystander, be an upstander. And so instead of just watching it happening and not saying anything, is, be an upstander, say something, call someone, support that person. And no one, I think Brooke would agree with me, is saying that's easy, because it's not. Because especially in this day and age, you feel like you might be infringing on their privacy or their either business. But as you said, it could totally save an incident from happening. And at the very least, it might be just, officers going to a house and going, oh, okay, everything is okay. Oh, she tripped in the car, I didn't realize, or whatever. But at the very most, it could really be life-changing and life-saving for someone in a situation that is not the best.
Well, and there is a bonus to it. A safety check never hurts anybody. Let's just say that it's the beginning stages of an abusive situation. That moment they get home, if there's a police officer right there, there's your interruption. First off, mindset readjustment. If they're there and something is happening, they can react to it. If there's nothing wrong, there's no one that's going to come to your house and say, hey, why did you call? The police aren't going to give your information out like that. So there are some bonuses to paying attention to your surrounding and I think an advocate, not just for an abusive situation or a human trafficking situation, but how about an advocate for your own community and your own surrounding? I think if we learn how to be, and I don't want to say good citizens again, but maybe just the advocate for our own space around us when we're out and about, because there's so many opportunities in the state of Florida with all the live music events and all the art shows and the waterways you can get away, and the airports are local. And it's just, there's so many moving parts in the state of Florida that people are here and they're transient. And when you combine, I'm on vacation, I'm not paying attention to all these things around us, I feel safe. Well, you're on vacation, you feel safe, but truthfully, we're not number 6 because we're not active. We're active at number 6, and it really stinks that we're at number 6. I really am looking forward to new calculations that come out soon, that I hope we get to number 7 or 8 or 9 or 10. There are things in life that you always look at and you want to be number 1. This is not one of those categories.
Yeah. And that's why we hope that on January 12th for the human trafficking, we hope we see the community out there, because
it's huge.
And if we get educated, the only thing that can happen in our community is our community can get better.
Well, and I pointed out that you guys did this a couple of years ago. You missed the COVID year, of course, which people missed a lot of things, and you had to handle your business differently that year. And you guys were successful at getting information out because things did have to change. Social media side of things had to be more attentive. You guys are now more attentive on that. And you're still doing all of these fundraisers. You're still doing all of the educationals. You're still going to the schools. You're just kind of hammering away at this. And I'd say, you're chopping down the tree one axe at a time.
We're trying our best.
I think you're doing a great job, and I give kudos to you guys, because it's not an easy story to talk about, and it's not easy. It's not even easy information for people to digest, because they tend to not want to hear the negative side of things as much as they want to hear the positive side of things, I think. But I'm glad we're talking about it. It's a big ordeal. I know you've got we've been on for about 35 minutes, so I'll ask Brooke, because I already know that Marilyn knows how fast the show goes, but we're 35 minutes in. Does it feel like you did 35 minutes already?
No.
It's pretty quick.
Very smooth to talk with. We appreciate you for, raising awareness about C.A.R.E.
Absolutely. And there's a huge event that you guys are getting ready to roll out at the end of January. And can you talk a little bit about the fantastic C.A.R.E. Ball of 2023?
So the C.A.R.E Ball is happening January 28th, and we look forward to people, purchasing tables, purchasing tickets. They are $135 per ticket, and you can also reserve tables as well. And we will have a game night. It will be a lot of dancing and a silent auction. And an open bar, of course, and we encourage, tipping the bartenders for their service.
I was there. I want to say it was last year. Did we have it last year, or was it the year before? Holy cow!
I think there was a last year.
I think it was last year. So I think we did last year. In fact, I know we did last year. It was amazing. It was a very education-driven event for us across the board because it is a well-oiled machine that you guys have running for the C.A.R.E Ball. That's nothing but kudos across the board. I always like to take an event when I do one and sit back and rejudge how it went. Post-game event, I don't even know what I would do to make it better, and I already know it's going to be better.
Oh, that's awesome.
So can you highlight why you guys do this event and what a difference it makes to your organization?
Again, this is an event that is unrestricted funds. So the purchase of a ticket, the purchase of a table, sponsorship, all of that goes directly back to the services of Charlotte County. I have not experienced one, but I do hear they are wonderful. And this year the theme is Night at the Museum. We love when patrons dress to the nines, tuxedos, gowns, black ties, and really go out there and support us. As Brooke said, we do have the individual tickets, but we do have the tables, which can have 10 people at them. And for a table of 10, it's $1,350. But if you do purchase that table before December 31st, you can save $100. So that's a really good incentive. And then we also have, if you want to, for the table of 10, for $1,500, you can have a sponsorship table. So you could, there's any companies out there that are finding a way to give back to the community, directly to the community, get a sponsorship table, invite some of your high clients, or, and you get your name on the table, and you get that recognition that you are one of the sponsorship tables at the event. It is open bar. Who doesn't like an open bar? And there is a full dinner, and there's dancing with the DJ, all night dancing. So that's always a plus. And there is a gaming area, as Brooke said, and there's also going to be like a silent auction where you buy tickets. And again, these big events that we're talking about, the Tonight Party with a Cause and the C.A.R.E Ball, they're the funds that we can use any way we see fit to help those survivors, help those families, and also to enhance our educational awareness out in the community. And there, again, as we've talked about the grant money compared to the unrestricted funds, unrestricted funds are, something that are so needed because there's so many different situations that come up within C.A.R.E and with our clients that it just allows us to do so much more than the restricted funds that we have.
So I kind of want to hit this a little bit because this is a huge fundraiser, but you keep talking about the unrestricted fund usage, and I'm going to ask some questions, and you take it where you want to go with it. But the unrestricted funds, every victim has a different scenario, correct?
Yes, a victim could, be ready to leave their abusive relationship and need a safe place to go. So then we provide an emergency shelter when available and we have space. to victims who need a place to go, and then we proceed to continue helping them so they can get permanent housing, get help finding employment through our economic justice program, who can help, show them how to do their taxes, or show them how to do a proper interview for a job and help them that ways. Or there's ways that, a victim might have a different circumstance where they have a safe place to go, but they need help with funding, with food. We can help them, provide that, or help them with school shopping. We also are able to help them through donations from the community as well.
Funds like this could also be, maybe a survivor has a car and then they get a flat and they don't have that extra money, because if you're put in this situation, yes, you try to come up with that plan and have some money put aside, but it doesn't always happen that way. And in a perfect world, yes, it would happen that way. So it could be, they need that extra, that $200 to get a tire on their, on their car or something like that. And so that's where that unrestricted funds can come into just small little things, even such as, they're going on a new job interview and they need to get a haircut or something of that nature. To us, it may seem very small and not big and important, but for someone who is in that situation, a survivor who is trying to be empowered and get their life back, that's everything.
Well, and when they're in that situation, and I've once again, I've talked to you guys so much about this. When they're in this situation, it's almost like that. When it finally hits that enough is enough, it's the panic of not having the means a lot of times to get that healthy restart. So this mentally and physically, and I mean both. Doesn't that mean so much for a victim to at least feel that healthy restart once they make the decision to break it off and move on to the next phase in life?
Yes. So, a victim will go through many stages of feelings. This is very tough on them during this time, especially right after a hurricane as well. And we can provide the comfort as well and support that they need. We are like a big safety net for a survivor. So we are always here with different co-located advocates that work, directly through C.A.R.E as well. And we can provide a bunch of different kinds of assistance to help a family, get back up on their feet, or a single person, start a new life where they can focus on what's to come. The best things are to come after, getting out of a tough situation. And it could be from years of abuse. It could be through sexual violence, where a person might need to just get away from a certain situation. We provide assistance like that to help them, especially, through counseling and our support groups. We provide the emotional support that they might need to help get through this and make them stronger and more empowered.
And I'm going to go right back to the joining of a lot of good people, good business people in our area who sponsor the tables, who buy the tickets, a lot of citizens who've been part of this for decades, and really make the event what it is. You've got such an influence of people there that care about the organization, that have been part of the organization, whether it be volunteering or just donating over the years. The appreciation that comes out of that event for the community as a whole. Yes, while the tickets are $135 a piece, each ticket, if you look at it, it's a great event out. It's a great night out. Your money is going to a cause that is truly needed and appreciated. I will tell you that if you go to this event as a citizen, you're going to find out that when you leave there, you're going to be energized. It's a good time. You're going to be energized, but you're also going to be aware that you're part of something that is going to change your community over time. And it's because of this event happening each and every year. It at least gives everyone January and December each year to talk about CARE and what they do. It's amazing how many people talk about the CARE ball. If this event wasn't here, you guys would probably lose 30 days of conversation out into the community. So you guys are doing a fantastic job. Kudos across the board, and it's because you guys are doing such a great job with the event that the word is going to get out better and better each and every year.
Well, and we can't, as Brooke said before, we can't thank you enough, because you giving us this forum to be on here helps so much in getting the word out. And we cannot thank the people who do attend these events, the Party with the Cause, the CARE Ball. I know the auxiliary does lots of caring luncheons and things of that nature, because as you said, if we didn't have that community support, we would not be able to do the things that we do. And I know with the CARE Ball, the tickets are pricey, and if you don't have that to spend, then it's okay, because as we've said from the beginning of this broadcast, if you have a little extra but not that much extra, there's plenty of ways that you can give to CARE, as far as around the holiday seasons, as we talked about before, with the donations of clothes, of toys, of gift cards, and things of that. So I mean, thank goodness we have the spectrum of giving, and more than that, thank goodness we have a community that cares enough about these causes, and supporting survivors, in helping them to get empowered, that they will give whatever they can in whatever form they can. And we're just happy that we have events that are very successful, and entertaining, from what I hear, John, so that people do want to attend them. And, it is a nice night out, as well as supporting an unbelievable organization, as far as I'm concerned.
And I know, Brooke, do you still have to go, Brooke? You're about 2 minutes late.
Oh, yeah, you're okay. I'm about to head out here in a minute. Thank you very much for having me, and it was nice meeting you.
It was nice meeting you too, and I look forward to having you on next month. Remember, it's the second Tuesday of each month that we interview CARE and really talk about these things. So if you have questions, please get them to us. If you have concerns or thoughts, get them over to us. We would love to have open dialogue with any citizen that's out there. If you've been through a situation and you want to be part of the conversation, let me know. We look forward to that. Brooke, you've been fantastic. I look forward to next month.
Thank you very much.
You're very welcome. All right, Marilyn. So you're stuck with me for the last 5 minutes or so.
Okay.
Let's highlight again. We'll just stick right here for the second. Just the CARE Ball itself, what time and when, real quick? So
the CARE Ball is January 28th at 6 o'clock. If you can scroll down just so they can see that link there, so that I can read it too. It's actually bitpal.net, and then it's /2023 CARE Ball /welcome. And that will give you all the information that you need about that. And that is the big one that's on the 28th. And then tonight, as we've said before, we have the Party with a Cause, and that's at the River City Grill. And that's $30. You can purchase those tickets at the door. And that's just a really fun night. Food, music, baskets, and we have I think a 50-50 raffle as well. So, you can just, that's from 5:30 to 9 o'clock tonight. So that's a really great thing as well.
Highlight the owner of River City Grill again.
Doug Amaral, he's awesome. He is always so supportive of us, and he is donating all the food. And that's huge because that means that C.A.R.E does not have to pay that bill. So that's his, as well as supplying the location, which is awesome. We thank Doug Amaral for supplying this food for the event as well. So that's as I said, happening tonight, and great, and thank you to Doug. And then we do have the human trafficking that is happening, and that's on the 12th. And if you need any information, as I said before, you can get in contact with us. And the little things, I've heard that come up in our conversation a few times today. So aside from the human trafficking, the little things as far as, toys or clothing, things that might brighten a survivor's Christmas or holiday time, please do not hesitate to call us, 941-639-5499. And that will, if you want to donate anything for this holiday season. And I would be remiss if I did not say that number as well. If you are someone who is in a situation, domestic violence, sexual violence happening to you, just in a bad situation, please know that our hotline and helpline out there 24/7, and we have those trained advocates to talk to you. And please don't put yourself staying in that situation. If you reach out to us and let us try to get you some resources to help you through the time that you're going through. And again, the hotline number is 941-627-6000. And the helpline number is 941-637-0404. And those are the lines that 24/7, someone will be here to answer you.
And you can find out a lot about C.A.R.E, what they do, the events they've got going on through their website. It's very, very easy to navigate. Go to carefl.org and check them out. Honestly, it's very easy to buy tickets. The event tonight, though, keep in mind, if you're going to go to that event, buy your tickets at the door. It'll make it so much easier to transition since it's evening of. But you do use Eventbrite. You do use a lot of resources out there that make it easy for people to buy tickets, don't you?
Absolutely. And thank you for giving out the website, because yes, if you go into our website, you will see the links that are out there as far as all of these events and upcoming events that we haven't talked about. And different ways that you can give. But more importantly, for our people who may be in situations out there, all of the resources as far as with the helpline, we have the text line as well. And don't forget that we are on Facebook and we are on Instagram as well. So we do get the information out there with that. But yes, we usually have links where you can purchase tickets right online, and the information is online with that as well.
Go to one of their events, be part of an amazing organization, have a great night. Everybody drive safe to get home tonight. It's Monday night. It is December. We don't have snow here, but they got snow somewhere. So just slow down and take it easy. If we do get some rain, oil and water do the same thing as ice in Ohio. So just remember, just take your time, get home safe, and take care of your neighbors in the cars next to you. All right. So you guys have a great night. I appreciate you being on. And
thank you so much, John.
It was a pleasure having you and Brooke on both because it was a great show, and I appreciate you guys. And I'm going to talk to my wife. I might slide down, and I can't promise, but I bet you'll see me at the C.A.R.E ball.
Oh my! I might make it too. So it will.
All right.
We'll see.
All right.
I got to get my gown out.
Awesome. Well, it's great talking with you, and we'll talk to you soon. This is John
Okay,
Rawlings.
great. Thank you so much, John.
All right. This is John Rawlings with WKDW Real Talk 97.5 saying thank you so much, and join us on Friday. We'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.